Hello and welcome everybody from Toronto, Canada. In this vlog I will show you the main sightseeing attractions of this very beautiful city, and I will also give you some interesting historical facts about how Toronto was formed. I have a Hungarian passport, so I don't need a visa to enter Toronto, but that doesn't mean that I just arrive and they put a stamp in my passport and I can go. I need to fill out an online document called ETA and pay 7 Canadian dollars. So that's the process. I just fill out this, and it was actually approved very fast in 2 minutes. And when I scan my passport at the airport, or I show this to the immigration control, then they know already that I have this approved document, this ETA. So that's the process for me, but well, I also got interviewed. I was a little bit intimidated. I didn't expect those questions. I visited many countries and I experienced something like that. They wanted that I show my return flight ticket or my hotel accommodation reservation approval or receipt or something like that, but now here this Canadian immigration officer asked me why I stay so short in Canada and why I have such a small luggage and what are my plans and what I will do here. So yeah, these questions were a little bit surprising, but I could answer. Actually, it's right, I'm a little bit crazy to come to Canada for only 6 days. What is the reason behind that? Actually, first of all, my childhood dream was to visit the Niagara Falls, and that's only 2 hours by train or by bus from Toronto. So this goal will be accomplished during this trip. And well, what I also wanted to say that Toronto doesn't have so many attractions that you need a week or something. It's enough to stay here like 3 or 4 days, then you can experience all sightseeing attractions, and well, I think that's totally enough. But the main reason was that it doesn't fit to my budget. Actually, it's very expensive. I never paid so much for accommodations, and I have been literally traveling to many countries, but Canadian Airbnb apartments are very expensive, and well, most of them are in the basement, and I'm very tall, so those basement apartments are not good for me. Yes, I'm 194 centimeters, that's 6 feet and 4 inch, and most of these apartments are only 6 feet tall, 6 feet high, so I don't actually fit inside. So searching for an accommodation, it was very hard, and the hotels were not okay because they were like $400 or $500 for one night. That's absolutely expensive. So yes, actually these are the reasons why I stay so short. In the beginnings, this area was inhabited by Iroquois Indians, and they established here 2 villages on the banks of the Rogue and Humber rivers. After the Beaver Wars, the Iroquois Indians left this area. It was a war between the French and these Indians, and in 1701 the Mississauga Indians came to this area, and they were fighting against the British with the French. So the British defeated the French and their indigenous allies, and this area became part of the British colonial area of Quebec. After the American Revolutionary War, 10,000 British fled to this area, and the British Crown wanted to compensate them for their losses, and a new province was created called Upper Canada, and this province also needed a capital. So the British Lord Dorchester wanted to purchase land from the Mississauga Indians, 1,000 square kilometers, and from there they wanted to give fields to these British who fled here. So in 1787 the Toronto Purchase happened, and during this pact the British bought the 1,000 square kilometers land from the Mississauga Indians, and they didn't get very much from the British. They got some objects in exchange, and that also led to a conflict which I will tell you later. Dorchester intended the location to be named Toronto. Toronto means plenty according to a French lexicon of the Huron language, which was written in 1632, a very old lexicon. And well, this Huron language is also a type of an Iroquois language. The Mississauga Indians opened the land claims settlement process against the Canadian government in 1986. They were saying that they didn't get enough for their lands in 1787, and the process took a lot of time. They also needed to extrapolate the ancient value of the field to the current currency, to the current Canadian dollars. And in 2010, the Canadian government gave to the Mississauga Indians 145 million Canadian dollars for their grievance, and currently 1,700 Indians are living, and they shared this money between them. Each Indian got 20,000 Canadian dollars, and the rest of the money they put in the bank for future generations. In 1793, Governor John Graves Simcoe established the town York on the Toronto Purchase lands, and he called it York after Prince Frederick, Duke of York and Albany. The town York was incorporated as a city of Toronto on the 6th March of 1834, and this is the official birth date of Toronto, and in the end it got an indigenous name. For two brief periods, Toronto was the capital of the United Provinces of Canada, which was a British colonial territory. The capital was moved to Toronto in 1849 for the first time, and it stayed so until 1852, and the second time after the unrest of Montreal, Toronto became the capital again in 1856 and remained so 2 years long. After that, Quebec was designated as the capital for this territory until 1866, but the Canadian Confederation was formed in 1867, and Ottawa became its capital. So yes, since then Ottawa is the capital of Canada, which is actually the second largest country of the world. It has 9.98 million square kilometers. It is on the second place behind Russia. And Toronto has a population of 2.7 million people, as statistics made in 2021. After the Second World War, the population of Toronto increased a lot because many immigrants came here, Chinese workers, but also a lot of European nationality people, because the Second World War devastated almost the whole continent. So yes, the population of Toronto grew, and it's not a surprise that only 12% of the population of Toronto is Canadian, 12.5 is English, and 12.3 are Chinese, but we can also find many Filipinos and many Indians here. I also saw many people on the streets. So actually in the 1960s, Canada changed their racially based immigration policies, and they welcomed even more people. So that's the reason that the population increased a lot. So Toronto now is also the fourth most populous city in the whole North America. In 2018, 27.5 million tourists visited Toronto, so as you can see, it's a major tourist attraction of Canada, and well, it also contributed with $10.3 billion to the country's GDP. Toronto is an international center of business, finance, arts and culture, and it's considered one of the most multicultural and cosmopolitan city of the whole world. Before we start our sightseeing trip, I will tell you some travel advice. You might be surprised when you order some food or some drinks in a pub or in a restaurant that in the end you must pay more. That's because on the menu the price doesn't include the taxes, the government taxes, the UHD, this is how they call it here. So yes, that's some add-on. For example, I ordered a pizza in a restaurant and it was $16 on the menu, and in the end I must pay $18. So that's not only the restaurants, all over. I asked the waitress and she told me that's very common here in Canada, that they don't put the final price on the menu. This is very annoying for me, but I think actually the tourist can get used to it. We are on the shore of the Lake Ontario. It is one of the 5 Great Lakes of North America. It is surrounded on the northwest and southwest by the Canadian province of Ontario, and on the south and east by the United States. The state of New York of course cannot be seen from here, not just because it's very far, but in front of us you can see the Toronto Islands. We can take a ferry to there, and I hope we will have time to do that. It's nice group of islands. You can find there also some beautiful beaches, but I will tell more about the Toronto Islands later. So the state boundaries between the United States of America and Canada are in the middle of the lake. That's also an interesting fact about Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario serves as an outlet to the Atlantic Ocean through the St. Lawrence River. Lake Ontario is the easternmost of the Great Lakes and the smallest in surface area. It is 18,960 square kilometers, although it exceeds Lake Erie in volume. It has 1,639 cubic kilometers. It is the 13th largest lake in the world. The name Ontario is derived from the Huron word Ontario, which means Great Lake. And I told you before that this Huron language, it's an Indian Iroquois language. We are on the harbor square now. This is like a main harbor on the Ontario Lake, but you can find many piers and many harbors on the lake and on the shore next to Toronto. Many sightseeing cruising ships dock here. And in front of us is the CN Tower. It's an amazing view from the top. We'll also go there. A lot of sightseeing cruises start from here. Toronto's famous landmark, the 553 meters CN Tower, is one of the city's must-see attractions, and also the most impossible to miss. Towering above the downtown, this Canadian icon can be seen from almost everywhere in the city. We have the option of simply appreciating the building from the ground, or taking a trip up to one of the observation areas or restaurants for this fabulous tower. And we'll also have amazing views over the city and over Lake Ontario. The CN Tower was built between 1972 and 1976. It was once the tallest freestanding structure in the world, but has long since been surpassed. As you remember, I presented in the Burj Khalifa vlog the tallest building of the world. The highest viewing area on the CN Tower is from the skypod at 447 meters above the city, with views that on clear days extend to Niagara Falls and New York State. To get here requires taking two elevators. Below this, at the top of the main elevator, is the lookout level at 346 meters, with floor to ceiling windows, and the new glass floor, which looks down to the original glass floor, one floor below, where the outdoor sky terrace is located. As the name suggests, the glass floor offers a bird's eye view directly down over the city. For those looking for a little more adventure, or perhaps a lot more adrenaline, then you can also take the edge walk. This involves a hands-free walk on a 1.5 meters wide ledge around the outside edge of the main pod at an elevation of 365 meters. Absolutely shocking for me. Participants are attached to a safety harness and rope. Located at 351 meters, it's also a revolving 360 restaurant featuring fine dining and some of the best views from a table. 360 is open for lunch and dinner, and visitors who dine here also receive complimentary access to the lookout and the glass floor levels of the tower. It's such a long queue. I was not expecting this. I don't know how long will it take until I get into the tower. Finally I got upstairs. It was really annoying, it was such a long queue, it's really crowded. We are in August of 2023 and it's the main tourist season in Canada, because it's summer and it's warm. It's like 25 degrees. So I really recommend to buy your ticket online if you come in this period, but even if you buy online you should expect a long waiting time. After I entered the building, I waited 50 minutes for the elevator. It was absolutely incredible. I didn't expect this. So even if you book online, you will have to wait in the queue. That's the baseball stadium from above. Well, the view is absolutely amazing, and we should enjoy it now. Those are the Toronto Islands. That's the main railway station of Toronto, the Union Station. To be honest, I don't like it much at this second level, because through these windows you cannot take a good recording, good videos, and some windows are also very dirty. So now we are on the second level, on the second viewpoint. You need to pay extra $10 for this viewpoint. The first one costs $45, and to get here to the second one is extra 10. So now we are on 447 meters level. It's not like the KL Tower in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where I could take really good recordings from the tower. So yeah, I will make some more videos from the first level. Maybe those will be better. Do you see the people? Yes, I was right. I can take some better videos from the first viewing platform, because the window glasses are much taller, and yes, it's easier to show you the view from here. So let's do that. Of course, we can see New York State and the Niagara Falls. I think what I read on the internet, it was, I don't know, some kind of hoax, typical internet hoax. We should be just happy to see the Toronto Islands in front of us, and there on the right side there is also Toronto City Airport, a smaller airport operating on the Toronto Islands. Absolutely overcrowded today, always very noisy, and yes, I stayed like in 3-4 queues, different queues today. First to buy the ticket, then to enter the building, then for the elevator. It was very annoying. The view is nice, but I still cannot say if it was worth, because I wasted too much time which I allocated for sightseeing and city tour. Sometimes I get the question, how are local people? Well, I had contact with some. I was just taking a video, and somebody was driving a car next to me, and he yelled out from the car, I should take a photo of his ass. I think, yeah, it was a very strange stuff. I don't know, he didn't like that I was taking a video or something like that. That's very strange. And one time I was waiting for my local bus to the Niagara Falls. It was 5 AM, and I was hearing some rock music is coming from somewhere, which was very strange, because in front of me there were only 2 shops and 1 pub which was already closed, and suddenly the music stopped, and the guy came out of nowhere. He was sleeping on the bench in front of the pub, and he started yelling like an animal, like this. So I was a little bit afraid what will happen, and he started to push the door with his hands and tried to open the pub, which was already closed, and he was yelling that he needs a drink, he needs a drink. I need a drink, I need a drink, and he was literally pushing the window. So I was really surprised about this, and well, I was thinking he might be similar that the guy on my airplane last year. If you didn't watch that vlog, I will link that for you. Well, shortly what happened, there was a very drunk guy on my flight, and my flight from Warsaw to Toronto, and he wanted to beat the stewardess because she didn't give him any more alcohol. And yeah, finally we had an emergency landing in Iceland, and I couldn't arrive to Toronto. So yes, I will link that vlog for you if you didn't watch it yet. So I don't know, these people are very addictive to alcohol, or maybe, or not maybe, very probably also to some drugs, and they cannot stand it. So this guy kept punching the window, and well, nothing happened. Well, I didn't want to judge, so it's not like I'm judging from 2 cases. When I saw 2 stupid guys, that I'm thinking that everybody in Toronto is like that. I'm just telling you the stories. The old city hall is a Romanesque style civic building and a courthouse. It was the home of the Toronto City Council from 1899 to 1966, and remains one of the city's most prominent structures. Toronto's old city hall was one of the largest buildings in Toronto, and the largest civic building in North America upon its completion in 1899. It was designed by the prominent Toronto architect Edward James Lennox, and the building took more than a decade to build, and the cost of the construction was $2.5 million, which is equal to close 53 million today. In front of the building we can also find a monument to the fallen Canadian citizens during the First World War and the Second World War. to our glorious dead, it's written on it. And in front of us here you can see the date, the period of the First World War from 1914 until 1918, and here from 1939 until 1945, the period of the Second World War. Romanesque style building. Now it operates as the court, so we cannot go inside. As you can see, the weather is not very nice on my second day in Toronto, and what I wanted to say is that I get many times why I travel so often to Asia. It's a simple reason: I really love Asia, and the second reason is that it's much more cheaper. I spend so much money in 5-6 days in Toronto like I would spend in 1 month in Vietnam, or 2-3 weeks at least in Thailand. You can imagine, like if you want to have a lunch or dinner and also get a drink, then it costs like $35, and also the entrance fee to the CN Tower was $62. So every attraction is expensive, and also the food, also the accommodation. So I don't really regret that I'm staying only 6 days here. This is the Nathan Phillips Square. It is the largest square of the whole country, the largest square of Canada. It was named after Nathan Phillips, who was a mayor of Toronto between 1955 and 1962, and the square was opened in 1965. It's one of the most visited attractions of Toronto. Usually 1.5 million tourists visit the square annually. And here is also a nice pond. Well, we cannot enjoy this tour very much now because it's raining. Also a small fountain. It's pretty nice. Also another interesting information about this pond, that during winter time it is used for ice skating. Many skyscrapers around the square, and in front of us you can see the old city hall, which we just visited some minutes ago. Absolutely beautiful also from this angle. And in front of us now is the Toronto sign, which is the most photographed point of the whole city. It's absolutely amazing. Somebody made some statistics that people posted 120 million photos of this sign last year on social media. I think they can calculate it based on the check-ins. It is 22 meters wide and 3 meters high. Also absolutely incredible that it changes the lights. It's controlled with Wi-Fi. The interesting fact about the sign is that it can create an estimated 228 million color combinations, approximately equal to what the human eye can see, can sense. The square is also a place of concerts, festivals, local markets, and sometimes protests. Moosehead Brewery. Yeah, I tried this beer, Moosehead. It's not a special one, but it's okay. It's a good beer. And in front of us is the new city hall, modern building. Well, in this rain, this didn't sound very well. So in this rain, the local food stalls and selling stalls are not open. Also, the square is not really crowded now. Yeah, I'm not really happy about the food prices in Toronto. As I said already, you can look at here, the salad and soup combo is like $20. Oh, it's some kind of Vietnamese food festival here. Also on that stage I saw it's some kind of Vietnamese gathering, and also here on this table you can see they are selling Vietnamese specialties. Well, I recommend you to watch my vlog about Vietnamese food. Yes, now I can see on the stage it's written Taste of Vietnam. Yeah, so this is a very important point of the city. We can also call it the very city center. We are in downtown Toronto. Yes, Taste of Vietnam. Art, culture and food festival. Yes, many festivals are organized here. I can already smell some good Vietnamese food. It remembers me my trip to Vietnam, which was in April. Now it is August of 2023. The new city hall was constructed in 1965. The architect was the famous Finnish architect Viljo Revel. The two towers are 20 and 27 stories high. And here in front of us we can see a sculpture made by Henry Moore. It's called The Archer. I would never know that, sorry Henry Moore, but I would never recognize an archer here. Before I didn't read this. Well, it's also part of my travel vlog information, which I always prepare before the trip. So this is the Archer. And the new City Hall. Next to the Nathan Phillips Square you find the shopping mall, so if you like shopping, then here you go. This is my travel advice. CF Toronto Eaton Center, that's the name of this shopping mall, and you can find many things here. It's also beautiful from the architectural point of view, and of course many skyscrapers here in the downtown of Toronto. You can admire the old city hall from other angle. Now we will take a ferry to the Center Island, which is one of the Toronto islands. We have many: Wharfs Island, Turtle Island, Middle Island and Center Island. I recommend to take the ferry from the Jack Layton ferry terminal because that's the cheapest way. It's only $9.10. For example, the Queen's Quay terminal, it's almost the double price, more than $16. So this is the cheapest way to visit one of the Toronto islands. It's just 1 kilometer offshore from Toronto. There are lovely walks on the islands, as well as the opportunity for rowing, sailing, swimming and other outdoor activities. In summer, the Toronto Islands are the venue for numerous open-air events. In favorable weather, there is a stunning view of the Toronto skyline. Well, it's very crowded, so I can't really show to you. Just look at this, it's absolutely incredible. That's why I also made the mistake. There's no Turtle Island, it's called the Snake Island actually. But we have Wharfs Island and also Middle Island, Olympic Island. Actually 15 islands, 15 small islands form these Toronto islands on the Lake Ontario. The island community is the largest urban car-free community in North America. The area of the islands is about 330 hectares. The largest outermost island, called the Center Island, is crescent-shaped and forms the shoreline of both the eastern and western channels. Snake Island is heavily forested, and the beach facing Toronto Island is called the Snake Islands Park. It's also interesting that there is a community of about 300 homes. They are concentrated more on the eastern end of the island chain, on Wars Island and Algonquin Island. Under the terms of the Toronto Island's Residential Community Stewardship Act, there are strict rules under provincial law governing the buying and selling of these homes.
Until the boat has docked and has come to a complete stop. Please do not stand on the stairs or the top of the stairs while the boat.
That's the harbor over there, the Center Island harbor, and a ferry is just departing, going back. In the summer season there are many ferries because it's the high tourist season in Toronto and in Canada, and this is the absolutely amazing view of the Toronto skyline. We were over there just yesterday in the CN Tower, and as you can see the weather changed and it's very sunny and nice again. It was raining only before noon. There are also some other ferry points, some other docks here, and you can go to the other islands. Everything it's about relaxing here. You can also rent a bike and cycle around the island. It's like a huge park. nice relaxing place. We have arrived to the other side of the island, and here we can find the Manitou beach. I don't know why they named it after Manitou. You also find some bars here and some food stalls. And what I like the most, that there's also a changing room with safes. You cannot find that everywhere in the world. Many beaches don't have something like that. I think it's very safe to leave your belongings in a locker. So this is the Manitou beach, and it's a red-yellow flag, which means swimming is almost prohibited. So you can enter only like until there. You can see over there in the boat there's a guy sitting. He's the lifeguard. He's controlling that people don't go beyond that point. Here's just a small plunge in the water. It's not really dangerous. There's a nice molo. So here the waves are bigger, but between the islands they are not, of course. And there you can rent a boat. You can do kayaking or sail with a boat. It's the Manitou beach. And on the horizon I also see some sailing boats. So yes, because we arrived on the other side of the center island, we can see that, or we can say actually, we cannot see New York State. It's on the other side of the Ontario lake. You cannot even see the other shore. This is the other side of the Manitou beach. It's much longer, and I like those wave breaker cliffs over there. I think it's artificial to protect the tourists who want to swim here, but then it's a disadvantage that the water is too shallow. I like to swim in a deep water. Sometimes I hit my leg to the bottom, and if it's not sandy, it's not really good. Sometimes I got a scratch. Center Island Pier, Toronto. Oh wow. North Pole. Niagara Falls. In front of us is the Manitou Beach, but there is one more on the center island. It's after the Manitou Beach over there. It's called Gibraltar Point Beach. That also can be visited.
Enjoy your trip and have a wonderful ride.
This is the Hockey Hall of Fame. For hockey fans, a trip to the Hockey Hall of Fame in downtown Toronto is a necessity. This is the place to learn about the all-time hockey greats, the players, the teams and the games. It also offers a chance to see the Stanley Cup along with a collection of important memorabilia, and an interactive display allows you to test your own hockey skills. I will not go inside, I'm not a fan, so it's just for information if you are interested about the sport. This is the Sugar Beach. It was opened on the 9th August of 2010. It's an artificial beach created by Waterfront Toronto. Many locals come here to chill or take a sunbath. You cannot swim here in the Lake Ontario, it's just for chilling. The name Sugar Beach came about during World War I. Sugar was a rare item during that time, and it was very expensive. So some thieves stole 20 sacks of sugar from a ship, and this point of land had a crevice about 10 meters wide, and as the thieves were being apprehended, they pulled their boat into this crevice and threw the 20 sacks of sugar into this place. So when they were apprehended, they had no evidence of this thievery. They couldn't charge them with a crime when they didn't have an evidence. That's the story behind Sugar Beach. Toronto's distillery district is a restored historic area which has been transformed into a trendy entertainment and shopping district. We can find here charming boutiques, cafes, artist studios, restaurants in these old buildings which were kept and converted to new purposes. Not to make alcohol anymore. So these decorations are very beautiful. This is an interesting place to come during the day or also during the evening, any time of the year. A variety of entertainment events are held here, but one of the most well-known is the annual Toronto Christmas market. In that time wooden stalls lay here and they sell all kind of Christmas gifts and also huge Christmas tree stands in the open square. These are new buildings, but in the background you can already see the old distillery buildings. This is how it looked like back that time. Can't imagine how the life was in that period. You just watch some movies. For example, beginning of the 20th century, actually after the First World War. Interesting decorations here. This one looks like a huge UFO from a movie, but I don't remember the title. It doesn't matter. Let's just wonder about these old buildings of the distillery. Usually brick was used to construct these distillery buildings.
Concord is on the northeast.
Really?
Find that.
You can also find the railway museum next to the CN Tower. You find the old trains here. Immediately adjacent to the CN Tower is Rogers Centre, a massive domed sports arena and home to the Toronto Blue Jays. This team plays for the Major League Baseball. You know, baseball is very loved by North Americans, not just in the United States but also in Canada. The unique design includes a retractable roof which slides back, allowing it to be opened in favorable weather. This mega structure was completed in 1989 and can accommodate tens of thousands of spectators. And it's also used as a venue for other major events, including concerts. The center also offers 1-hour guided tours with behind-the-scenes look at the facility. So if you want to see how a baseball arena stadium looks like, then it's advisable to try it. The Church of the Holy Trinity is an Anglican church built in 1847 in a simple neo-Gothic style. The architect was Henry Bowyer Lane. Toronto's answer to New York's Broadway, the entertainment district comes to life in the evenings on the King Street. King Street can be reached very easily if you get off at the King station. Many public transportation means travel here. Also the line 1 of the subway. This is the place to come to see major theater productions with the latest shows and musicals, concerts and other performing arts. You'll also find a range of dining options and a place for socializing, as well as hotels. The main center of activity in the entertainment district is along King Street. So this is the King Street. Berci Park. This is the oldest church of the city, called Little Trinity Church. In order to distinguish it from the Holy Trinity Church, which I showed you already, it was also designed by Henry Bowyer Lane. Here we can see that it's established in 1842, but I read on the internet it's 1844, so maybe 42 is the correct date. It's an Anglican parish church. Let's visit Casa Loma, which is like a medieval castle. It looks like so, but actually it was ordered by an eccentric millionaire called Sir Henry Pellat. He ordered the construction in 1914, and actually he was a businessman who saw as the first a business opportunity that the Niagara Falls is very close to Toronto, and he made a lot of money with this. The castle was built in Gothic revival style, and it has more than 100 chambers and a lot of bathrooms, and also some secret passages, secret rooms. It's absolutely incredible what this millionaire was desired. And also the architect A.J. Lennox played a big part of this, of course, because he designed everything. The constructions took 3 years, and now this place serves as a museum, so we can also go inside. And Casa Loma actually means the hill house. The interior design is absolutely amazing, consider the fact that it was constructed in the beginning of the 20th century. It was ultra modern in that time. Notable amenities included an elevator, an oven large enough to cook an ox, 2 vertical passages for pipe organs, a central vacuum, 2 secret passages in Pelat's ground floor office, a pool, and 3 bowling alleys in the basement. Actually only 2 were never completed, so only 1 bowling room can be found now in the castle. There was also a tunnel which was connecting Casa Loma to the hunting lodge and to the stables, which had a garage, potting shed, stalls, carriage room and tech rooms. Absolutely incredible. After the First World War it was a financial crisis and depression, so the city of Toronto increased Casa Loma's property taxes from $600 per year to $100 a month, and also Pelat's businesses were suffering of this financial crisis, so he had many difficulties and auctioned off $1.5 million of his art collection and $250,000 in furnishing. These were all sold. Pelat was able to enjoy life in this mansion only some years, because he left the house in 1923. The city seized Casa Loma in 1924 because of unpaid taxes, and a very interesting fact that during the Second World War the stables were used to conceal research and for construction of sonar devices for U-boat detection. Casa Loma is also a popular location for use in film and television. It has served as a location for movies such as X-Men, Strange Brew, Chicago and The Tuxedo, and also many others.
I've known I was doing evenings this week, last week.
The entrance fee is $40, but that's without taxes, so actually it's $44.3 totally. And in front of the castle there is a small food stall, and they beat the record. They are selling a small bottle of water of half liter for $5.65. Incredible. That's a new record. This is the worst which I saw so far. I already saw at the Niagara Falls it was $4.50, but well, very expensive already. I don't know if I will see a more expensive water until I will stay here. Also inside looks like a medieval castle, absolutely incredible. This millionaire really had a different taste, let's say like that. He wanted to have his own castle.
这样再走近它多一点，左手你试一下搂的那个地方，比较。
Imagine how many
למרות, אנחנו יכולים מרחיקים ריק. תראו איזה דברים יש להם פה. תראו את החדר, תראו את השעון.
Upon completion, this was the largest private residence in whole Canada, we can imagine. Absolutely huge mansion.
还有淋浴，这个当时他们那样的。
淋浴都有。
This is the servant's bedroom. As you can see, is far from fancy. It's very simple. Also compared to bedroom of the sir and bedroom of the lady. Just in order of completeness, I also want to say that Sir Henry Pellet was also Major General in the Queen's army, so I might said in the beginning that he was a businessman. Yes, he had many businesses and investments, but actually he was more famous about his role in the army.
Yeah, because this lady was in the night. So they train over in the cellar.
Yeah, that's like not
Okay. So this was the complete travel vlog about Toronto. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if that's so, please subscribe to my channel if you didn't do it yet. It's very important to push on the bell icon, because this is how you get notified about the new contents. Have a nice day and goodbye.
Oh, that's la la life, that's la la life. Baby, let it be, enjoy the memory. Oh, that's la la life, that's la la life.